Part 1. The First Blood, 1968-1969. It began quietly on a cold December night in 1968. Northern California was calm, the sky heavy with fog. A young couple, David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen, parked their car on a lonely road near Lake Herman. Minutes later, their lives were over. Both shot dead. No witnesses, no suspects, no answers. The press called it a lover's lane killing. The police moved on, but the killer didn't. 7 months later, on July 4th, 1969, another couple was attacked in a similar way near Blue Rock Springs. A car stopped behind them. A man stepped out with a flashlight and a gun. He fired, again and again. When the police arrived, they found one victim dead, the other barely alive. Within an hour, the phone rang at the local station. A calm male voice said, "I want to report a double murder. If you go 1 mile east, you'll find them." Then he added, "I also killed those 2 last year." That night, the world met the man who called himself Zodiac. Part 2. Letters from Hell. In early August 1969, 3 major newspapers, the Chronicle, the Examiner, and the Vallejo Times-Herald, each received a letter. Each envelope contained a confession and a mysterious cipher, hundreds of strange symbols arranged in perfect grids. The writer demanded, "Print this on the front page or I will kill again." He signed the letter with a circle crossed by a plus sign, the now infamous Zodiac symbol. Panic swept across California. Reporters rushed to decode the message. Days later, a high school teacher and his wife finally cracked the first cipher. It said, "I like killing people because it's so much fun. Man is the most dangerous animal of all. When I die, I will be reborn in paradise, and all I have killed will become my slaves." But there was one thing missing: his name. The killer wanted attention, not capture. Part 3. The Fear Grows, 1969 to 1970. The letters kept coming, one after another, each more disturbing than the last. Zodiac taunted police, mocked investigators, and threatened to shoot school buses filled with children. He seemed untouchable, always one step ahead. In September 1969, another couple was attacked near Lake Berryessa. This time, the killer wore a dark executioner's hood with his symbol drawn on the chest. He tied the couple up, then stabbed them repeatedly. Before leaving, he calmly drew his logo and the date of the murders on their car door, like a trophy. Days later, he called the police again, taking credit for the crime. His voice, emotionless, almost proud. "I like watching people die. It gives me power." That's when fear became hysteria. San Francisco was paralyzed. People locked their doors, avoided driving at night. Every shadow looked like Zodiac. Part 4. The Hunt for a Ghost, 1971-1990s. Then suddenly, silence. After years of terror, the Zodiac vanished. But his letters didn't stop. Even after 1971, postcards and cryptic notes kept arriving at newspapers and police stations. "I am still here," one read. "You'll never catch me." Detectives chased hundreds of leads, chasing the shadow of a man who never left evidence. One suspect stood out: Arthur Lee Allen, a troubled man who lived near the murder sites, fascinated with ciphers and weapons. Friends claimed he called himself Zodiac. When police searched his home, they found knives, bloody clothes, and strange writings. But nothing concrete. Handwriting tests didn't match. Fingerprints didn't match. DNA, inconclusive. Allen died in 1992, and with him, the last real suspect faded away. The trail went cold. But the legend didn't. Part 4. The Hunt for a Ghost, 1971-1990s. Then suddenly, silence. After years of terror, the Zodiac vanished. But his letters didn't stop. Even after 1971, postcards and cryptic notes kept arriving at newspapers and police stations. "I am still here," one read. "You'll never catch me." Detectives chased hundreds of leads, chasing the shadow of a man who never left evidence. One suspect stood out: Arthur Lee Allen, a troubled man who lived near the murder sites, fascinated with ciphers and weapons. Friends claimed he called himself Zodiac. When police searched his home, they found knives, bloody clothes, and strange writings. But nothing concrete. Handwriting tests didn't match. Fingerprints didn't match. DNA, inconclusive. Allen died in 1992, and with him, the last real suspect faded away. The trail went cold, but the legend didn't. Part 5, Codes, Theories, and the Endless Mystery, 2000 now. Decades passed, but Zodiac never left the headlines. True crime fans obsessed over every letter, every cipher, every blurry photograph. Theories multiplied. Some said Zodiac was a police officer. Others, a journalist covering his own crimes. Some even believed there were two killers. Then, in 2020, a group of codebreakers from the US, Australia, and Belgium finally cracked the 340 cipher, a puzzle that baffled experts for 51 years. The message read, "I am not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise all the sooner." But again, no identity, no closure. Only the voice of a man who wanted immortality through fear. To this day, the Zodiac case remains open. No fingerprints, no confirmed DNA, no face, just words and a symbol. Ending: the man who vanished. 50 years later, the shadow of Zodiac still lingers in American history. A killer who turned murder into a riddle and fear into legend. Maybe he died decades ago. Maybe he's still alive, watching the world trying to decode his madness. Maybe he's watching you. The Zodiac Killer, the man who wrote his name in blood and disappeared into the fog.